Pawan Srivastava, your librarian, Kendriya Vidyalaya Dharmapuri. Today our session was scheduled for G Suite applications and email etiquettes. So I'll just give you a sorry. I'll just give you an introduction with the G Suite. We had Bharat sir was supposed to come for the technical details, but due to 10th class results today, he is busy in office, so he could not make it. But I'll tell you just a brief introduction to the G Suite applications, and then we'll start with email etiquettes. In the next week session, we'll cover the technicalities in G Suite. Okay, guys. So first of all, I hope you all know that KBS is providing email ID to all of you, personal email ID to all the students, right? Right. So that is why this session is very important. How to use G Suite applications and how to make full use of it and take benefit from it. Okay. So I'll quickly go to the application, email application. So this is your email application, Gmail account will look like this. Okay. So once you get your updated email ID, there is some problem with the old email ID, but new email IDs will be generated today, and you'll get it. Once you get your email ID, new email IDs from your class teacher, you will log into the Gmail account, and this way, after logging in, you have to change the password, and password change you can do it from the settings. And after changing the password, you will have this screen. Your screen will look like this. Okay, so I'll just introduce you with the tools that we have in the G Suite application. This is first primary, which is the email. You will have an email account. You can receive emails, and apart from the email account, you have many tools for G Suite. You guys can see my mouse scrolling on the screen. You are able to see my mouse, right? Okay. So in the Gmail account, just see I am clicking on this. Is 9 dots, which is called Google Apps. Why? Once I click on this 9 dots, it shows me many tools of Google's. Many tools of Google. So here we have one account setting, then Gmail, then Drive, Classroom, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Calendar, Meet, Currents, Contacts, everything which will be used for your online classes in near future. Okay, so most of the time you will be using, I'll talk about that only. You will be using Google Classroom, which is this one. Once you click on this, your class teachers will create classes for you. Okay, so this will look like this. Your email ID, your account, once you open this Google Classroom, your class teacher will create classes section wise, subject wise. They will create classes here, and you will see the classes, and they will provide you the class code. Then you will have to go to the plus and click on join class, enter the code and join, so that any update, any information, any assignment that your class teacher or subject teachers are giving you on the Google Classroom will be available to your account also. Okay, then we have one more thing which everyone is using, Google Meet. Like now we are taking class, this session is also on the Google Meet, so all of you are familiar with the Google Meet tool. So these mainly these two things students will be using, and teachers will be using a few more tools. Okay, guys, so this is about the Google G Suite application and the Google Classroom, Google Meet. Now we'll continue this session about G Suite application, the technical part of the session. in the upcoming sessions. So Bharat sir will be joining in next week, and he'll tell you about the details, how to change the password, how to use Google Classroom, how to use Google Meet, what tools you can use, everything he'll be telling you. Okay guys, so now we'll quickly start the another session, which is for email etiquettes. Okay, so I wanted both the sessions to be together, but it could not happen. But don't worry, we'll continue it next week. So now I'll quickly present you with my screen. It is about email etiquettes. So once you receive your email IDs, you will be able to send and receive emails to your classmates, to your teachers, or anyone else. So you all must know the email etiquettes. What are the email etiquettes? How to write email? What are the technical things we have to keep in mind? So I'll go to the next slide. So students, one by one, please answer this question. What is email? Very good. Anyone else? Anyone else who would like to tell us about the email? What is email? Right. And more? What all we can send on email? What? Advertisement. What else? You can communicate with anyone, not only advertisement. We send many important things, like nowadays, in the era of online classes, when all these school studies are going on through email communication, everything you can do it on email. You can share your messages, you can share your photos, videos, or any other attachment, anything you can share on the email. Okay guys, so I am very glad that you guys know what is email. So now I'll explain you how to write an email, how to write a good email, what are the parts of the email, and what tools we can use to write an email. Okay. So first thing in the email is email address bar. So everyone knows, you can are you able to see this photo on this slide? Address bar. Are you guys able to see this photo? So address bar is having address bar have two main parts. One is to whom you want to send the email. The second one is subject. Okay. The one more important thing is the email is always written in small letters. The complete email is always written in small letters. But even if you have typed it in capital letters also, there will not be any problem. So it will also take the capital letters. Okay. So we have two parts. One is to whom you want to send the email, and the second one is subject. So in two, you have to write the email address of the person you want to send the email. Okay. Now you will get two more options near two, just below two. You see, just below two, there are two more options: add CC and add BCC. What are these? CC means carbon copy. So whatever, once you click on the CC, I'll show you live on the email. I'll show you live on the email what is CC, what is BCC. Okay, see this email here. I am clicking on compose, so I'll just expand it. Yes, so here you will put the address, email address to whom you want to send the email. So I have entered the address, email address @gmail.com, and then my email address is entered, and further you see here we have two options, CC and BCC. What is CC, what is BCC? Once I click on CC, it will, I'm telling you, please keep your mic on mute. Okay, under CC you can give the email address of any other person to whom you want to send the copy of this email. So I have given one email ID here. I want to send a copy of this email to this person, but the main addressee of this email is Pawan Srivastava. However, I want to send the copy of this email to this other email also. So most important, one more thing, what is BCC? BCC is, the full form of BCC is blind carbon copy. So when you enter any email address in under BCC, that means you want to send the email copy to someone, but you don't want any other person to know that you have also sent an email to copy of this email to the other person. So like I sent a message to X student, and I copied Y student. I also blind copied Z student, but I don't the blind copied Z student will receive the email, but the person in 2 and CC will not be able to know. They won't know that the the person Z has also received an email. Okay guys, so this is the first part of the address bar to CC and BCC. I hope this is clear. I'll take your questions after I finish this part. Okay, then the other part is subject. Subject, you must always keep your subject very precise, clear and understandable, so that anyone who is reading your email must understand the subject by looking at your must understand the content of the email by looking at the subject only. Okay, so I'll take your questions if you have any question about it, about the address bar. If you have any questions, you can ask me about 2, CC and BCC. 2 is the main recipient who will receive the email. All the recipients in 2, CC and BCC will receive the email, but 2 will be the main. CC will receive a copy. Who is this? Please keep your Abdul. Okay, there was too much noise from your side. Okay guys, so if you have any question you can ask me, otherwise I'll move to the next slide. Okay, I assume that you all understood what is 2, CC and BCC. So I'll explain once more. 2 is the main recipient, CC the person. Yes, what? Yes, once you sent an email to someone, this address will automatically Google will your Gmail account will remember your address. and whenever next time you will try to type the name of the person, it will show you the email ID of that person. Otherwise you can also go into the G Suite applications, and there is a address option where you can go contacts option, in which you can go and save your contacts. Okay, like on mobile we save, similarly you can also save in email also. Okay, your subject should be very precise, clear and easy to understand, so that anyone reading receives an email, first of all he'll read the subject, and he should understand the content of the email, the purpose of the email by the subject. Okay, so next part in the email is the body of the email body. We call it email body. So this is the email body. You can see in the slide, I have given an image. Just below the address bar and subject column, you see it's a email body. So under the email body, when we write email in under email body. There are three parts: address bar, which we have already discussed, then it comes to main email body. Under main email body, I'm talking about main email body now. So under main email body, there are three parts. When we write an email, there are three parts. First one is addressee, to whom we are addressing. So second one is email content, what content we are writing, and third one is signature. Your signature is also important while you write an email. Then we have tools. So in further slides I will be discussing in details about each and everything. Under tools you will get some formatting tools to format your email, format your email body, like you can change the font, color of the text, and attachment. You can attach photos, videos, or any PDF file, any Word file, Excel file, anything you can attach, whatever you want to send to the recipient. Now we'll talk about, we have already covered address bar, so we'll talk about main email body, the addressee. So the addressee is to whom we are sending the email, who is under whose address we have entered under to. So under the you must know who the addressee is. So if the person you are sending to any official email, or any for you as a student, you will send email to your if you are sending an email to your class teacher or the subject teacher, they are these are called formal emails. So you are sending it for your education purpose, your official purpose. We call it official purpose. So this is called formal email. So while you write formal email, you will address your addressee as sir or ma'am. Okay. If you are writing any email to your friend or your younger brother, sister, or any other relative, you can use dear and then name. Okay. Or yes. Okay. But if you are writing any email to an unknown person, you can directly address him by his name. So suppose you are writing an email to someone you don't know, but you have got his email address, and you have to send some content to him. So you will address him by name. So this is the first part of the main email body, which is addressee. Then we come to the second part, which is very important, the content part, the email body content part. So when you write the email, your tone of the email should be positive. It should not be negative. I will give you an examples in further slides. So just understand, your tone of email should be positive. It should not look. The reader should not understand it that you have used rude. Okay, then never use caps lock. Caps lock is used for writing in capital letters. So if you have written any email in capital letters or bold words, bold letters, that means you have written the email very rudely, which is considered as rude, very rude. And also, do not write any email or any letter in complete small letters, which shows that you don't know about the email etiquettes. So you must use capital letters as well as small letters, both. So when you are writing any name, the first letter of the name or the noun, wherever you use noun, the same rule will apply here. Wherever you use noun or whenever you are starting a new sentence after the full stop, you are starting a new paragraph, you should use first letter as capital letter, then rest of the letters as small letters. Okay, and in between the sentence, if you see any noun that you are using, then you again use the capital letters, not the small letters. So we must not use complete capital letters for writing complete email. We should not use bold letters. We should not write the complete email in small letters too. And then proofreading is very important. Proofreading means reading the email, reading the whatever you have written, to read it again, to check for any grammar mistake, punctuation, spelling mistake, or capital letters, small letters. So proofreading is very important for that point of view. Then we must acknowledge the previous reply of the sender. Let's suppose, for example, your class teacher or your subject teacher have sent you an email with an assignment or homework, and you are replying to that email and replying to that assignment or homework. Then you must acknowledge the initial email of your class teacher, your subject teacher. Or for another, let's take another example. Your friend, one of your friend has sent you one of your old picture. So while replying, you must acknowledge that thank you for sharing this old picture of me with me, and I'm glad you sent me an email. Like that, you must acknowledge the initial email. Then the next thing, while writing email, when you write any sentence, you should not use any abbreviation like yeah instead of yes. Sometimes we use it, sometimes we write it while typing any message on WhatsApp, but or on message. So people tend to do same mistake while writing email also. On social media it's a different thing, but on email it's a different thing. You are writing, you are documenting, you are making a legal document whatever you are sending on email. So you should not write yeah instead of yes, or conti instead of continue, info instead of information, or instead of important. So these are only examples. We use so many abbreviations in day-to-day life, but we should not use abbreviation while writing any email. Though you should not you should not use fancy and colorful background or font while writing email. Okay, and when you are sending any email to a unknown person, to whom you don't know very well, you are not familiar with, then you should not ask about his wellness. I hope you are I hope you are doing well. So the other person, you don't know him, he don't know you, he'll think what kind of person is he don't know me, but he is asking me how are you, I hope you are doing well, he telling me hope you are doing well, what he knows about me. So we should not write these kind of sentences when we are writing any email to unknown person. But again, it is different for the known person. If you know someone very well, you should definitely ask him that they are doing well or not. Okay, you must use the complete sentence while writing any email. You must use the complete sentence. Don't miss the letters, grammars, or sometimes we leave the articles we don't use the, a, and like these small mistake we tend to make. Further, in the first slide, I told you tone of email should be positive. It is related to this. Don't be very direct while writing an email. So when you are writing any email, you should write in very polite manner. If you are writing in very direct way, it feels that the sender is commanding, and he or she is very rude to the receiver recipient. So I have written few examples, one or two examples of these. Sometimes we write, send me the assignment. Like if you want any assignment that you have missed from your teacher, you are sending an email to the teacher. Even on the WhatsApp also, you should write. You should not use these kind of sentence. Send me the assignment. So instead of this, you must use, would it be possible for you to send me the assignment as soon as possible? Okay. Similarly, the second sentence, I have taken one more example. I did not complete the homework. I'll send you. When your teacher, when your class teacher, when your subject teacher are asking about the assignment or the homework that was given to you, you said, you replied to him, I did not complete the homework, I'll send you later. So this is the direct reply is considered as rude behavior. So you must, instead of this, you can say, I am afraid that I was unable to finish the work. Would it be possible for you to allow me some more time to finish it? So like these are only examples. You can make your own sentence in more better manner and use them. Further, the tools that we have on the email, you can see on your screen. I have pasted a picture of it. So here we have a few tools to while writing an email. So these two tabs, the round arrow, these are for redo and undo. If anything you have deleted by mistake, you can undo it. If you have if you have deleted anything, you can undo it or redo it. Then you have second option of this, where sans serif is written. These are font of the text. So you can use change the font from here. But yes, I told you, you should not use very fancy font. You should use very simple font for writing an email. And then again, next to it, you can see double T, one small t, one big T. So from here you can change the size of your text. Whatever content you are writing, you can change the size of the same. Then you can make and if you want to highlight any word, any sentence, you can make it bold, italic, or underline it. From here you can change the color. This is the alignment key. From here you can align your text on the email, so it should be on the left or right or center, or aligned to all corners of the email. Then if you want to give your reply in pointers, you can use these pointer 1 2 3 or these pointers. So likewise, these are some tools that we use very frequently use while writing an email. Next is attachment. So from here you can attach any file to your email, but you must be very careful while sending any email attachment. You should not send too heavy attachments, because if other person is receiving your email, he'll try to open it, it will hang his system. So we should not send very heavy attachment. Always try to send attachment after compressing it. Compressing means reducing the size of the attachment. There are so many tools on the computer. You can compress any file and then send it. And further, if you still have any heavy file that you have to send it to someone, then you will have what you can do, you can share it through Google Drive. I'll show you the Google Drive, how you can share it on the through Google Drive. So once you click here, it will show you the file to attach, from where you can attach the file, addresses of your computer, and then you can attach the file. And now I'll show you how to use Google Drive, how to send attachments through Google Drive. Okay, so I'll just share another screen with you. Okay, you are able to hear me na? Okay, okay, I'll take care of it. So guys, just see the 9 dots. We'll click on this. You are able to see these tools. You can click on the Google Drive. Once you click on the Google Drive, this page will open like this. So you can upload any file, any heavy file here. You will click on the new at the top left corner. After clicking on the new, you will upload the file. Click on the file upload. You will upload any file that you want to send. After uploading it, it will show here in the main body of the screen. Then you should suppose you want to send this file, just click on this, right click on this and get shareable link. Just copy it. Okay, after copying, okay, copy link, done. Now I am going to email. Now I'll come back to email. I'll write the email whatever I want to write. After writing the email, I'll just paste the link here, and the other person who is receiving email email will be able to download the attachment from there. Okay, so this is the attachment part. Further, I'll again move to the next point. Okay, so I'll now one thing I forgot to mention in the slides, I'll show you on the other screen. So see guys, this part, the highlighted part, which I am highlighting now, the highlighted part, what we call it signature. Whenever you writing an email to anyone, you must add your signature into the email. So your signature must contain the things which makes the recipient comfortable in identifying you, who are you. So while so this is your signature could be suppose I am a class 12 student, so I'll write Pawan Kumar Srivastav. Here I'll mention class 12 B or A, anything, then AV, API or Dharmapuri, so that the recipient of the email is able to understand or is able to identify you, who are you and why you have emailed you. So a class, whenever you are sending any email, let's suppose even if you are sending email to your class teacher or subject teacher, every teacher has so many students, so sometimes it is difficult to identify the students that you are from which class or which section. So signature, at that in these kind of situations, the signature will help him in identifying you, that who are you. You can also mention your roll number while you are communicating with your class teacher or the subject teacher, so that he identifies you very well. So this is the another part of the email, the last part of the email. Now I'll just share the few tips, and then we'll finish this session. Okay. Okay, students, so here are few tips that you should follow while writing email. You should not make your own meaning of any email that you have received. You should try to understand, but if you are not able to understand, you should ask for the clarification. So for example, if your teacher, if your class teacher or someone has or your subject teacher has given you any homework or the assignment, you should not but you are not able to understand. Yes beta, you are not good afternoon, please keep your mic on mute. Who is this? Okay, so first thing, you should not, if you are not able to understand, you should ask the sender for the clarification. Okay, you should not take out the wrong meaning out of the email or any letter you have received. And when we go on the internet, we receive so many spam emails, spam things on our email account. We should not forward, we should not open it, we should just delete it, and we should never forward it to anyone else. Okay, while you are forwarding any email to any receiver, or you should write your own message. You should not just forward it. So for example, X student has forwarded something, some content to the Y student, and Y student needs to send it to Z student, but Y student did not write anything, did not write any message, did not mention the purpose why he is sending it to Z, but he just forwarded, which is wrong, which is not a good email etiquette. So you should not forward the emails just like that. You should always mention the message to the receiver. And then communication on one topic. So let's suppose while you use email, you will understand you can use one email for multiple times for same communication. So if you are communicating on one topic, you should continue on the old email only. But whenever you need to start a new topic for discussion with anyone, you should start in a new email. You should not use the old emails. Okay, save important emails and mark them important. I'll tell you before leaving how to save emails and how to mark them important. Don't use BCC. Using BCC is not a good email etiquette. You must not use BCC to make others know what you are sharing with anyone. Okay, then we should never reply to all. We should choose recipients wisely. So that, what does that mean? I'll give you an example. Suppose your class teacher has sent an homework or an assignment to all the students of the class, and while after completing the assignment, after completing the homework, you need to send it back to you need to submit it to your class teacher or subject teacher. So you should always reply to the same email, but you should not reply to all. You should only reply and choose your recipient. So you can choose your class teacher only to receive the email. You should not reply to all, otherwise your wait the otherwise the all the students will receive your contents. Okay, now I'm done from my side. I'll now take your questions, guys. Before that, I'll just tell you how to mark your emails important or save the email. So, guys, for example, this first email is important to me. I'll just mark it here. I've just marked it, starred it, which means this email is important to me and I'll be needing it later. Okay, this is the this is very simple way marking your email important. With whatever you have, you can mark it important, and there are few more options. When you will start emailing, you will understand all the important marked email will be starred email will be shown in the starred box, and if you mark any email important, it will be shown in the important folder. So like this, you will have so many options to manage your email. You can also make a folder for your class. You can add a folder in the email box, create new level. From here you can create one new level, like for example, for class 12th English, I have made it as per subject wise. So I have created one new level, English. So this level is created, and now it will be showing here. You can see English, the highlighted one, English is showing here, but no conversation with this level. Now I'll show you how to forward your email into the folders. So you just select the email, click here and forward it to English. Now whenever you want to see the emails related to English, you will directly go to the English folder and it will show you the email. So this is how you can save. You can leave if you don't have time. Okay students, so this is done from my side. Now you can ask any questions if you have. Any other student? Okay students, thank you for attending the session. I hope you understood something, and you are able to you will be able to use these things in your upcoming days. So make use of it, and if anytime you feel any problem, any issues, you can come to me and ask me how to do it. You can always call me or send me SMS or email me. You can send the feedback through library blog page. You know library blog page. I'll just show you how to send the feedback. Okay, from this page, you know this page, everyone have visited this page. I'll just show you from where you can send the feedback. You can just write your name, email address and message here and send. I'll receive it. The school will receive your feedback, or any suggestion you can send it from here. Okay guys, thank you for joining in. Have a nice day.